Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Castlevania 2 Lord of Shadows 2. I can't get the name right. So in the last recording we kind of did nothing, but we were introduced to these new human military people that are somewhat strong, and they have some shield abilities. Although, in all fairness, I did kind of disable. I upgraded a bunch of skills, and it seems like as soon as I upgraded those skills, that opened the door to taking out those guys a lot easier than in the boss fight I just fought with those exact same enemies. However, I made a mistake in letting those enemies fight against some humans transformed into demons. So maybe they were weakened, but I lost some XP. Let's go ahead and collect more of these scrolls and pretend like we're going to read them. So, effectively, what the game has decided to say is that this is not the castle of Castlevania, that this entire city is sitting on the bones of the Castlevania castle, which means that from at least the starting point they planned on making a city as big as the castle could have been made. So it seems rather weird that we aren't just instead in the Castlevania castle. Sure, there's probably been at least 13 Castlevania games, and I would suspect all 13 of them up until the Lord of Shadows series have been set in a castle, and I can see a knee-jerk thought to say, let's not do that. But your game is called Castlevania. Castle's in the name. We should be spending the vast majority of the time in a castle. Instead, we're in this open world section, which this is literally where we started the game to begin with. And I can't pick up any more of those collectibles. So, I thought at what was about 100 an hour and 10 minutes ago, when we started from Zobak's castle back to the medical facility, research facility, chemical plant, whatever it is. I think it's a chemical plant. Still can't jump up on this, and I guess by the time if I ever do get a double jump, I could jump over that part. Like, I thought we would be entering the area in a very different place, and like a different door, because they specifically said they couldn't teleport me and made me work to get back to this point. That seems now rather incredibly silly. Like, I knew we were probably going to be given a pretty large amount of opportunities. Well, this is new. Am I supposed to power slam that? I don't know if I've ever seen something that indicated that was the way to go. So yeah, and it's weird that this area is giving me collectibles and experience still. Ideally I'm trying to find the experience and just, yeah, so I could go back to where we started before, or I might be able to skip a section or enter a different area with this, which is now destroyed. Now I suppose it is a different event. Alright, there was a slam attack, but I don't know how how it works. I guess that's not what I was doing now. I guess I was just jumping in the sewers by pressing the B button. So glowing equals B buttons. This could have been a rat section, and we've seen too many of those, so I guess I'll be kind of happy. I should be happy for that. There's a slight issue with this, with fighting these guys, because you're given two and they just turtle up, and so I don't know if I'm supposed to do something or maybe use the Y attack. And it's turned out that pressing the B button when they are glowing is ideal. And these guys are too much in the corner for this. So this should give me 100 experience. That's a different kill animation. But if I'm not getting the whip attacks, then all I can really do is move out of the way. So it's lengthening the amount of gameplay I'm having to play. In the same way, we're running into more fights, which is, it feels like they just had a fear of the game player, me, feeling like I was gonna fight the same demons over and over again, because we really haven't seen a lot of variety in the enemies. There's like 3, maybe 4 repeated enemy types that we've run into. Oops. That was not particularly my intention. And so this, I believe, is the room we were fighting. We fought the first demon in, our second boss, and we really haven't seen that third boss yet. I didn't mean to jump down that far. I was just trying to jump down. Interesting pattern there. I was just trying to jump down to the platform. And I guess it doesn't matter because this is just the upper part of that same room. And I don't think there's going to be anything tall that's hidden as collectibles, just a bunch of breakable sections. We're looking for some kind of vaccine that this demon gas that biomech is making. Well, it certainly seems like there's something there. This is just a unbreakable window. I don't know if we'll ever get back in that area. So I'm thinking there's a collectible up that way and story is this way, so let's try this. Jump, and then we'll go ahead and use the interesting. So there's a pain box. So it doesn't seem like there's... How do you let go? Just let me go. Let me drop down, game. Yeah, it's really not letting me drop down. So I'm kind of the suspicion that that means yeah, if they hadn't had given us a lot of fights against these demon types earlier on, we would have probably gotten a different impression. Of this game. It would have felt like there was a lot of repetition fighting just green shirt versions and yellow shirt versions of these guys. And it seems like they are, at least in part, trying to keep these demons around this bio facility. Not that that's going to really matter in the long run, because it seems like this gas is probably expanding out towards every location. We're getting a lot of collectibles. It's kind of funny that they jumped through that window. I guess there's no way for me to get there, however. At least not until there's like a double jump or something. This might be a place where you would want to use a dodo egg to see if there are any more secrets. I'm still not sure though that I'm gonna bother to try to get all the collectibles. Yeah, climbing up further though doesn't seem like it's doable. At least not yet. Well, there is a way, it looks like, just to jump down over on this part. I don't know how much of Castlevania is built around the idea of whip chains.
Ice prevents the door from being opened.
Swinging with the whip chain probably is something that it is an action you do, at least in the small part of most Castlevania games. So I assume that is going to happen eventually.
Decontaminating steam. Please wait. Area decontaminated. Hold your position until the hatch is completely open.
Just getting different lines of dialogue every time we go through one of these transition rooms. Look at that physics freak out. Thought maybe I could throw a blood spike at that. Doesn't feel like we're doing much so far, and it totally feels like there's less of a focus here on introducing a new arena or new area. So I don't know if it's a fair comparison to compare a Castlevania game to Rogue Legacy, but Rogue Legacy clearly was at least partially inspired by the Castlevania series. In the game Rogue Legacy, which is a roguelike game, there is a main castle section, a hell section, a forest section, and an attic section, and then also the final boss area, which is kind of inside the main castle section. so far in this game, in comparison, we've seen a ancient time castle section, a modern time medical facility, a modern time Zobek's castle, which basically has nothing in it, and a modern time city, which is mostly just connecting streetways. This is odd. And see, I'd like to be able to throw a bomb and blow up all those guys, but that in no way worked. I wouldn't be surprised if old Castlevania games did have a few instances in which enemies are in very narrow sections and you're fighting and getting cheap shotted a lot. That being said, once you go 3D, you do all of a sudden take on this need to this guy's using a shotgun against me. You take on this need to have all the enemies only fight you in more open areas. This could have been a very, very frustrating experience. Do I want to jump down there? Or is that death? It's like a whole puzzle sequence, it seems like. There's yellow wires and yellow wires. This may not matter too much though. Actually, it's split hallway for no reason. Okay. We'll just have to jump down here and see what happens. We die. Okay. We'll jump over then. Why do the pain boxes growl and make sound when you're right next to them? That seems unnecessary. So chaos magic has been increased a little bit. I thought I turned off all those tutorial messages though. So yeah, that's a waste of level design if I've ever seen it. To have 3 different pathways, whole splitting and then merging right back to where they were. So I think we're cool. Just have to slightly avoid being electrocuted. This stuff did not need to be in this game. Darn it. Will that reset me? Oh, that very convenient. Checkpointing there. These are just like concepts stolen from Assassin's Creed, possibly even done better than what a current, at the time, Assassin's Creed would have been. And it's fallen quite a bit, but that doesn't work or matter because it's not Castlevania. I'm not sure that any Castlevania game. I'm starting so backwards here. I should have played an old Castlevania game first. But my suspicion is that no Castlevania game in the older series has ever had climbing. Maybe ledge grabbing, sure, but no real climbing. And this feels like either I am going just totally the wrong direction, or I have the map is just pointing me in the total wrong way. And heck, maybe the map is... Maybe I did go the wrong direction. And what will it matter? It would be an incredibly bad amount of gameplay design for them to have let me go so far off the path. If this isn't the right direction, that I would just have to blame the game. So here's an example of where I'm gonna try and get as much experience as possible by doing this, and getting into the fight with while taking on these guys. Wow, okay. There's another 40 gold. And so what's over here to start off with? Because I bet there is another pathway. Yeah. Once I can dash through iron gates, or travel through iron gates in some form or fashion, we will have extra paths unlocked. Now, since these guys are just like slightly futuristic mech people, mech military people, like, I don't see a real reason, unless they are also secretly the Brotherhood, from them to have a big boss try and defeat me. But here's a thought that I could throw out to argue towards that. What if each of the demons that we fight is a representation of the 7 deadly sins, or at least some of the 7 deadly sins? What if the first demon we fought was talking about beauty, so that would be vanity? What if there was a demon that controlled the human military people, and he was wrath, anger? That would kind of make sense. It seems like every Castlevania game made by Mercury Stream, at least, also pays 3D modelers to make statues that don't ever get used again. What's really weird is I could have seen these kind of statue bits sold or reused in other Konami games even, but there really aren't going to be any new Konami games. So it's a little surprising Konami has missed a trick to just sell a bunch of their first party 3D models and assets, and have a bunch of asset flippers on Steam and try and use them. At least then the asset flips that we often see on games on Steam would look a little bit better. I'm going to have to use my sword to attack some people. And this looks like this is a door that I probably could open right now. Is that where we're supposed to be going? I think it is. So I think I made the mistake of going where I'm supposed to go before going where I'm not supposed to go. Yep. Almost missed this pain box. So it's questionable whether these pain boxes are visible by other people, or if it's just something Dracula sees. And this is more of the biomech company, so it feels like they own this entire city. Save myself some steps that way. So I just need to make sure I'm in the right position to throw the bombs and break the chains. And then I don't even have to throw any more spikes. And I feel like we're probably just gonna, in this recording, go through an elevator, and then that will be that. Actually, that's a health thing. If that hadn't disappeared so fast, I would have potentially used a health vial. You can't change what the D-pad left or D-pad up does, so we are pretty much stuck with what we've got. I want to use this Dracula's dragon form, but I'm still not sure I can. And see, this might just be another boss fight. So let's come over to skills and see if we can actually afford to purchase anything. There we go. I probably will never use somersault. I probably will never use any of this, but I might as well just buy it while we can. Yeah, I'm like 1,200 short of purchasing all of the main attack things, and then we'll try and upgrade the other things. Apparently, is there really a chupacabra shop? Yeah, really far away. Item wise, what's the new thing that we've got? Some, I guess there is nothing new item wise, but we've got some more city memorials we can pretend like we're reading. A lot of backstory here. Unfortunately, the game is just not giving me enough reason to be interested in reading the backstory. If it was read to me, if it was playing out as I was walking down some of those empty alleyways that we've gone through, or if it was playing out even during fights as a audio log, that would be a big difference. That's something BioShock 1 did very well. You could pick up an audio log, it would start playing immediately, you could then run around and continue playing the game. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.